Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306, and I thought I was tinkering a little bit. I was making this uh, RTC real-time clock module, just something really small that I can plug into to prototype and whatnot. Has a crystal kind of hanging out in the wind, as Dave Jones would just say, flapping in the breeze, so to speak. But it'll work. This is just for prototyping basically, so I'm not too worried about rigidity, and it's very small. Has the battery backup. So yeah, just for testing. Anyway, while I was doing that, this guy, I realized my dad gave this to me. He had bought one of these TV rabbits. I think they were on clearance or something at Staples, and he just was curious what it was exactly. And so I don't know if he actually ended up using it or not, but he gave it to me. He basically said it was a piece of junk. And that's pretty much what it is. So I pried on it with a pocket knife, got it open. It's just literally cheap as plastic. And this guy was inside. And, you know, it looks a bit like a thumb drive. And I could peek in and see a little tiny chip. And so I was thinking, what the heck is in here? And so I know people make like keyloggers and stuff like that using let's zoom in here, please. Come on. There we go. So using like little microcontrollers and whatnot. So this is essentially, I'm gonna guess it's a microcontroller. It's a little epoxy blobbed one and external WinBond memory. So what's happening here is they're storing the URL addresses into this little, you know, flash memory. I'm assuming it's flash. It might be E2PROM, but basically when you plug this into the USB port on your computer, this just acts as a keyboard. It'll open up your web browser or whatever, and then it'll start typing in whatever URLs are stored in this chip here. So there's really nothing in here. I mean, all the services are online. So if those services go down, this is essentially useless. So I'm going to see later if I can read the values, the data off this, and if I can actually rewrite them, change them. And I don't know what I'd use this for, but I could change the URLs to whatever the heck I wanted actually. So that would be kind of neat. I just want to see exactly how they store the data, if it's just standard ASCII. That would be pretty interesting. So yeah, that'll be a little quick project for another day. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this piece of junk. So yeah, I've been working on a couple things, by the way. This guy, I'm waiting for a new microprocessor for this, so I can backlight this Game Boy Pocket here, my other clear Game Boy Pocket. I already biverted this, and it looks absolutely stunning. So you can look forward to that. I've been, you know, desoldering up a storm as well, making things, fixing things. Another cool thing that you might know, so I got this Azure Wave module from a TV. My sister's big screen TV finally bit the dust. And so I opened it up, and oddly enough, the TV is not a smart TV. It doesn't have any listed Wi-Fi features, but it has a Wi-Fi card in it. So I opened this, I removed this module off of it, and if you look very carefully, you can see it has a serial port. It has a TX and RX pins there. So I can actually probe that if I wanted to, but most importantly, if you look at the label, it says IEEE 802.11 BGN wireless USB module. So I'm thinking this was a specialized interface, and I can see some silk screen labels: BT priority, BT active, RX clear, and so I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of TTL, or not TTL, CMOS, some proprietary format. But no, it's actually USB. So I looked around. So these test points connect to the top 3 pins. So there's something that the TV needs apparently. There may be some control signals or some feedback, something like that. But the lower 4 pins look fairly standard. And if you zoom in, let me get my prodder. If you zoom in, you can see a matched pair. So this tells me that these 2 pins are D plus and D minus. I didn't know which order, and I guessed First time I guessed wrong, and I swapped the wires, and then it worked. So you can see that this fourth pin goes to ground, and then this first pin goes over to this converter chip that says 5 volts. So this is a 3.3 volt logic, but there's a converter that converts that down to 3.3 volts. So all I had to do was I took a X-Acto knife and I scratched off some of the solder mask on this giant ground plane, and so I could actually solder a full-size mini, or rather a mini jack onto here. And then I just took some mod wire essentially and made tiny bridges to these upper 4 pins here. And when I plugged it into the computer, once I got the D plus and D minus in the right order, lo and behold, it shows up as a wireless card. So now this will work as a Wi-Fi, USB Wi-Fi dongle. So I have another one of these kicking around if I ever need one. I have a couple others that are smaller, but this is sort of hacked together one. And it has these antennas which I pulled from, they were hiding behind the bezel on the TV. And so now I have these uber long, Wi-Fi antennas plus a working, USB Wi-Fi card that actually is pretty decent. This is actually faster than the mSATA card that I have actually in the, sorry, not mSATA, mini PCIe card that I have in my desktop right now. So I could actually stick this in and, Wi-Fi. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys random things I've been doing. I've been desoldering up the Storm as well, random parts from junk that I've been accumulating that, I'm trying to get rid of. So yeah, that is all the random stuff that I've been doing over the past few days, spending, a couple minutes a day. And so I just want to give you guys a quick update. I have a couple videos coming, but they're going to require some editing on my part, so I'm going to have to wait to get some time to upload that. But you guys can definitely look forward to some mod videos, including the modification of the Game Boy Pocket as well. I can show you guys that once I get the chip in and fully solder that up. So yeah, until then, I will see you guys later.